All right, now I've got the holes punched in this and they're cleaned out, and we're going to start to sew. I sew with an artificial sinew, but again, any type of thread that you would have would work for this. I sew with 2 needles, a needle on each end, and the stitch is really quite simple. I go with my right hand first into the first hole, then take the second needle and go into the same hole, and the stitches cross back and forth. It gives you a stitch that's just impossible to break, and it'll never run on you. One stitch breaks, the other stitch will hold. It's just a matter of going right up the piece, one hole after another. You can do this while you're watching TV. Now, rather than continue on, what I'll do here is I'll set this one down, and I'll go to one that I've got finished here. It's completely sewn. Now at this point, on the 4.5 inches, a small medicine bottle is about the same diameter as the bottom of this. So what I do is I'll draw a little circle on the piece of the leather, since it'll be the same size, and then I'll go around it and make just a little bit larger ring. Now I'll take a scissors at this point and we'll cut this out. None of this has to be perfect. It can be a little bit rough because all this is going to be hidden. Now the only trick in making the bottom is getting the same number of holes on the bottom as we have in this little disc. And what I do on that is I'll generally do it similar to a clock. I'll do 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. And then I'll divide those in half, and then divide that in half again. Divide in half, and half again, and divide that in half, and half again. Okay. And then I will punch that. It's just a matter of going around. If your holes are a little bit off, now's the time to straighten them. Okay, now just to be on the safe side, we'll count these. And put a mark, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have 16 holes, and then we'll do the same thing to this one. If we fold it in half, we can put a little mark on here, and we have that side in half. And then if we take and fold that again, we'll get the quarter marks. And then it's the same. You put a mark in between, and then a mark in between each one of those. That'll give us the same number of holes in the top piece as in the bottom. That's really the only trick on that. You don't want to be sewing it and have an extra hole one place or another. And then we'll punch these. Now where I've sewed this together, I'm going to count as one hole. So remember that as we're moving along here, darn it. Now we're going to count these again and make sure that we have them right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And the stitches will be the 16th hole. So we have that done. Okay, now that we've counted, and I advise you to count. Like I said, you don't want to get this sewed together and find out you've got an extra hole or two. It may be a little confusing at first, but it'll go together for you. I'll put my needle through the first hole and pick any place to start on this. There's no right or wrong place on starting. Pull my thread even, and then again, it's just a matter of starting to sew. Put the one needle in, and then the other. You want to pull them tight, but not so tight that you're going to gather the leather. That seems to be the worst problem on a soft piece of leather like this. People will pull those stitches a little bit too tight, and you'll start to gather it. Now, it's just a matter of finding the holes on each one and matching them up and sew them. There's 16 holes to this, so it's not like it's a major operation. We're just finishing up here, and we've got her pretty much all together here. This is it. Now, matter of cut our threads. And then the case needs to be turned inside out. This is what you could say might be the hardest part here. You want to get these to turn in. I'm not sure that there is an easy way to do this. Just want to take and slide this case over. Pull at the same time. Now we've got her sewed together, and turning her inside out might take the longest for you. You have to work it very slowly, and you keep tucking it in at the bottom and pulling at the top. Sometimes you can grab hold of the fringe, and there we go. A little bit of work. Your case will work out real nice.